Alright, it's about time for the 6-month overhaul here on the Samosucket dryer. We got us a new heating element. Ordered this a while ago, I forgot. The kit came with new sensors and thermal fuses. Also, time to replace these drum rollers again. These guys, 2 in the front and 2 in the back, starting to seize up and squeak real bad. I figured while we're in there, it's probably about time to replace the drum belt and maybe the tensioner and the tensioner spring as well. Oh, look at that. That's new. Got it on both sides. Boy, the lint trap filter on these are just a joke, aren't they? You clean that lint trap filter out after every single cycle. Look at all of that that's still got trapped down there in the ductwork beyond the filter. You have fire hazard waiting to happen. Oh, there's some in there. Jeez. Speaking of that lint trap being a total joke, we saw the cotton candy ball shaped looking fuzz on the front rollers and got some more on the back rollers. I know the inside of this unit looks like it hasn't been cleaned in forever, but I promise she was spotless 6 months ago when I did the last repair. Amazing this thing hasn't caught on fire yet. Knock on wood. So we're going to turn the machine around, get this back plate off, get access to the 2 bolts that hold the back drum wheels on. Oh yeah, they're nice. Nice and loose. Sloppy. All worn out already. We'll clean it up. See if we can breathe a little more life into her. Alright, I got the vacuum out. I'm going to show you this here real quick. Of course, we'll get this coil out in just a minute and take a closer look. Look what she looks like before getting the coil even pulled out. Extremely close to a fire. Look at this back here. It looks a wee bit burnt. Maybe some of that lint did start to smolder. Let this be a lesson. If you got a dryer that's either not drying quickly, or if you have one of these Samosuckets, you better take her all the way apart and check about every 6 months. We're going to finish tearing this down, see if we can get to the parts that need to be replaced. Already getting a look at this guy here. He weeble wobbling. Just stiff. Won't turn very freely on its own. That's probably our main culprit. But we're going to go ahead and change them all 4 out since we're here. No, he's super low, he's super low. Yep, this has definitely become a public service announcement. Look at all of that charred lint. So the airflow comes in through the front of the heater elements, blows through that heater element box, hits this air duct, and comes up through these grates and out into the main dryer drum. Take a look at that. That is more charred lint that got sucked up through the vents, through the heater, and stuck on the back of the grates. I'm going to have to figure out how to get that out. Again, cleaned this dryer lint trap after every single cycle religiously. No tears, no rips, no holes in the lint trap. It's just accumulation of several months worth of lint that sneaks past the lint trap. Alright, if you got one of these and you're wondering about how to get the inside back wall apart, it's real easy. There are 2 screws on either side of the back of the unit and 2 across the top. You just pull those Phillips screws out under your wiring harness guy here, move those out of the way. One more wiring clip here, move out of the way. And then you could just, I recommend a pair of gloves so you don't get sliced by metal. You just grab a hold of the top of this unit here, and you're going to lift up until it clears past this tab on both sides. Just like that. Well, obviously the last time I was in here and wrote that message, I was really hoping it wouldn't be me who saw this message again, but here we are. We can now get access to the back of the drum roller. I'll stick a nut on there, wrench. Stick a wrench on those nuts and break them free. We'll swap them out for 2 new rollers and then put this back in place. Getting a look at this here. This is a lot of sharp sheet metal. I may not be able to get this unit off in order to get that out, so I might get some compressed air and blow it out backwards and catch it down below. Alright, I got the back of the unit together, and I'm going to focus on replacing this heating element. Took out all the screws across the front and back, plus one more screw here on this sensor bracket. Take a peek at her here. Clean on top. Not very clean on the inside. This is lint buildup here. That's the intake. This is the output side. We saw earlier where it was starting to char where it went into the back of the ventilation tubes. So we'll get this all cleaned up. These heating elements here may actually be alright. I may not need to replace them. The unit just may have needed a good clean. I'll take a look at the factory specs and see what the temperature reading was supposed to be on the output and decide if I'm going to replace these coils or not. Alright, here's a tip for you. If you're trying to get these leads out of this bracket and they just won't push through, you get down there real close and look. They bend one of these tabs over on one of the sides. Prevents it from pushing back through there. Safety feature or repairman secret? I don't know. Either way, you bend that little tab back up so he's nice and flat, and it slides right through the bracket then. Well, just comparing here visually the old heating element compared to the new one. Much shinier on the new one, so we're going to go with the new one. Also, I'm noticing that the diameter of the heating element here on the old one are much thinner than the diameter on the new ones. I compared the part numbers, double checked, they're exactly the same. We'll see if it heats the same or not. Of course, I got the intake tray all cleaned up. We'll put her back together and reinstall it in the machine here and swap out the dryer belt, maybe a tensioner spring while we're in there. I decided not to mess with these thermostats and sensors right now since they seem to be working, so I'll just keep the extras as spare for future. Alright, we've got her back together. We'll just run a quick test here before we put the lid on and put her back in place. Alright, hopefully that'll last another 6 months. Alright, before I push this dryer back up against the wall, I thought I'd take a look at this dryer vent here. Cleaned it out 6 months ago. This is how it looks today. Just chocked full of lint. Same with the outlet that goes out to the through the wall to the outside. I clean them both. Put it back together. Maybe we'll avoid a secondary fire. Thanks for watching.